Episode 21 with Sushmeetha Bubna, Suman versus Human.
Stop using free email. Businesses like yours need reliable email provider. Connect your business with Google and add value to your online presence. Sign up with Google Workspace today. Use the link in the description to avail 10% special discount on your first year subscription.
Hello, dear listeners. Today is Monday again, and I know Monday is always boring, but don't worry, I'm here with an exciting, electrifying episode to make your Monday inspiring. I have Sushmeetha Bubna on my show today, who is a founder of voicevision and Faiyda. So let's know more about Sushmeetha and her organizations in her words. Sushmeetha, welcome to Suman versus Human.
Thank you, Mr. Suman, for inviting us.
So, Sushmeetha, my first question is voice vision. Both are different poles. So how voice vision both are connected together, and we want to know more about this.
So, Voice Vision, the name of the organization was given by my father. And he gave the name as, vision through voice. That's what he meant to say that, visually impaired can see through voice. So that's where the name coined as Voice Vision. And Voice Vision started in 2000, April. But the reason to start it was to actually rehabilitate me because I went blind in 1997 due to multiple surgeries, cataracts since birth, attachment, blah, blah, blah. So I lost one of my eye when I was just 10 years old. I was working on the other one, and the other one also met a couple of difficulties, and then I lost it on age of 24. In 1997. So that's where, to rehabilitate myself, we started Voice Vision, and we started off as a computer training institute where visually impaired were trained. That was first in the of its type in the country. I had bought this software, screen reading software from US, JAWS, which my father again took a risk of purchasing it for me. The license that okay, if you have it, you can try it. I wasn't aware that what will I do, how will I do before being blind. I was already in my family business. I was handling our dealer channel and all, managing the stores. So I was doing multitasking there itself. But then what to do after losing vision? That's the biggest question because, just staying without doing anything was not accepted by me. So that's where voice vision came as a survivor. Because when I learned computers using the screen reading software and few of the tutorials. But in Mumbai, we asked people to train us, but they said, no, 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 we cannot train. We don't know how to train a visually impaired person. So that's where my father said, okay, let's start an institute. We will train people. If you could train one person, our life's goal is met. So with that
Yeah.
small thought, we started. We never thought that it will stay alive for long 33 and a half years.
That time, when you lost your one eye, you were 10 years old, and 10-year-old is decent enough to understand the life, right? So, the moment you lost your eye, how was your reaction? How did you react it to the darkness?
For me, I would say darkness was pretty still accepted, but what I saw was my father begging to doctors that, doctor, take my eyes, but give my daughter eyesight. That was what actually pushed me somewhere in a corner. Then, my parents not wanting to anyone know that, okay, I can't see from one eye. Um, because and relatives talking that okay, don't tell anyone. If you tell, how will she get married, this
Mm.
and that. So that 10-year-old tender child had no brains and thought that okay, someone who has to marry me or accept me the way I am, and there's no hidden thing. But yes, my friends also never knew that I was working on one eye. I couldn't see the board from first bench also. Post 10 standard education, I did my graduation in commerce, but my friends helped me out, telling me
Mm.
debit is on left, credit is on right, put this here, put this there. We often were, chucked out by our professors that, why are you talking? So we were really an outstanding student standing out of the class.
You said your institution was first in India to train blind people about
Using screen reading software,
yeah,
using a
yeah,
Windows machine.
computer
Yeah.
education.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a great thing, and it's amazing to know that your organization became first. Now, marketing becomes a challenge. Like it's pretty hard those days to take this to the remotest corners of the country, because those days internet, Facebook, and stuff like this is not common. So how did you reach people?
So that again is a story. We have so many stories to tell, it's like that.
Please, we
So,
wanted you to open up. So that is the beauty of Suman versus Human. We want humanity to spread through this show.
there is an organization in Mumbai which is a 50, 75-year-old organization working for visually impaired people. So when we started our computer institute, we went there and we asked them that, if you could share the beneficiaries' name and number, we can contact them and we can train them with computers. They said, no, we cannot share. We said, okay, whenever whoever comes to you, if you can inform. They said, Sushmita, you're mad. In India, people don't have food to eat, and you are coming here to train them computers. Who is going to learn computers from you? From you, nothing doing. First
Yes.
provide food, blah blah blah.
Basic
So
things.
yeah, so they demotivated me so badly that back home I was crying. My father said, "Oh, no need to cry." I said, "See how people talk." So he said, "No, no, don't worry. If you could train one also, our goal is met, and
Mm.
we'll try." So whatever we even wrote letters to doctors, all eye doctors. We sent our organization brochures and letters, personal letter that please, please, patients whoever lose vision or whoever have less vision, guide them to such a thing. Because for me, after I lost my eyesight in 97, my doctor pushed me a lot.
Mm.
My doctor Natarajan, who's again a fellow from Shankar Netralaya, Chennai. So he pushed me a lot that don't sit idle, do something, do something. He even introduced me to a rehabilitation center in Mumbai that go and learn Braille, go and learn how to walk with a cane. And I did that.
Mm.
But he kept on pushing me. So and added to that was my father. He also asked me, used to force me to go to office, along with him. I used to say, no, 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 it's difficult for me to face the same staff who have
Mm.
seen me with vision. Now I cannot go in front of them without vision. And what will I do in office? I cannot read anything. I cannot write anything. What will I do? He used to tell, no, you come, you just have a cup of tea and come back home.
Mm.
That's all okay. But you need to come out.
Yeah.
For me, doing that thing was such a big task of my life was, I used to go to office also. I used to cry. Way back also, I used to cry
Mm.
because,
Mm.
for me, it was like everyone is looking at me only.
Yeah. Like that. That's your mental perception.
Yes, that was my mental perception. And you don't know what to talk, how to talk, what not to do, what to do.
It is all
And
like completely new world again, right?
hmm. So when we ourselves are not knowing what to do, how to do, people around us who haven't seen someone like that, it is more difficult. So as what I have learned in this years of my experiences, a person who needs help, should be very clearer in asking help, and what help is required and what is not required.
Yeah.
Because if I don't guide someone that, okay, hold my hand this way, guide me this way, people will drag you any which ways.
Yes, correct.
So
Correct.
if I want people to treat me appropriate, I have to guide them appropriate. The onus lies on us. We say no, no, people are not sensitized. No, it's we need to sensitize them. We have students, who are now dietitians, who are working as a
Wow.
digital marketing person, and we have people who are physiotherapists, who are singers. What else? You could talk about working in banks. So like my one of my student who got job in bank, he was like he hell bound to get his own computers, and how much he had to struggle to get his computers, jaws in place, then a scanner for himself. That entire journey, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve for me, for him, both.
What I feel is pride of Voice Vision is bringing, introducing, and launching computers for the first time in the country for the people with visual impairment. So that's a great challenge, and the team Human versus Human salutes you for this achievement.
Thank you. Rather than for me saluting me, it's we should salute all our students, because if they wouldn't have come to us, what would have we done? Nothing.
Sushmita Bubna represents the wealthy students what you have.
Wealthy students.
I mean,
Yeah.
wealthy in the sense rich by nature, and uh,
Yes, yes, yes. They
don't you
all
agree
are.
with me? My statement?
Yes, yes, fully, fully, fully. My students are amazing students. One of my student, she was our faculty for a couple of years, and the way she used to train, the way she used to take care of everyone. Two, three of my students, we gave them opportunity to become our faculty, and they all did so well that after the last one quit, I couldn't hire anyone.
Because you felt that they cannot replace.
Yes. And the knowledge, people say that I've learned this, I've learned that, but the knowledge was so less that, I either have to train them first with the entire course and then onboard them as a faculty. So I
Susmita,
must have taken more than 150 interviews, but I couldn't hire anyone.
I
Hmm.
also heard about the matchmaking events you do for people with disability.
Yeah, so over this period of computer training, we realized that only computer training is not enough. There's so much and so more to do. So one of our first student, he found his match in voice vision only. So we thought of what not, and he only suggested, why don't we start something like that? I
Yeah.
said, okay, let's try. So in 2013, we started matrimonial meets events, like we do annually once in a year,
Mhm.
and where persons with disability from all sectors are welcome from across India. People participate, they come down, many of them to fly down, or to travel by train and attend the event. It's a one day event where we introduce each candidate. So we take care that they are not being forced to come on a stage or
Mhm.
hold a mic and talk about themselves. Because what we learned was, there's so much of fear. Marriage itself is a fear topic.
Yeah.
Then it has so much of anxiety and everything. And then once you ask them to come, there's a stage fear if people are forced to come on stage. Then to talk, again, people have different kind of disability. So few may talk very nicely, few may not be able to talk. So their disability overrules everything.
Yes.
And if I have not introduced myself properly, and so then that leads to more demotivation rather than being a happy moment that, okay, I went to such an event. So that's where we structured in a such a manner that it is easy going for everyone, happy for everyone, inclusive for everyone. And we have our trained volunteers who keep on introducing year on year. During Corona, we even did it online. Then a couple of marriages happened. We have their success stories on our YouTube channel also.
Nice.
And They're lovely stories. That how people can just come, and a simple hi bye can result to a marriage also. And at times, so there are people, there are stories where people, the girl and the guy both have would met 10 times in a year and still couldn't decide that whether they should go together or not. There's so much, variety of stories you have, and that's the best part of the event. But the worst part is there's so much of stigma attached to matrimony in India. Marriage is like something which, like, eating food without which one cannot survive. If you one has not got married, means there's nothing that person has achieved. He
Yeah.
or she is considered a zero.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have seen that treatment for myself, when one of the parties when I went with my parents, and my one of the so-called aunt asked my father that where have you married your daughter. He said, no, I haven't married her, she's blind, she's not married. So then, immediately my aunt said, then what did you do if you have not got her married? You've done nothing.
Hmm.
I was so angry on her. I couldn't say anything to her directly, but coming back home, I was really angry. And who's she to decide what my parents have
Hmm.
done? I know what my parents have done. So that is one. A, marriage is very important in India. B, every disabled person.
One moment. The marriage is very important in India because to satisfy aunts.
Yes. No, after that, I keep everyone used to tell me, Sushmita, what happened? You have not got married. I said, okay, I'm ready. Dulan is ready. The bride is ready.
Hmm.
The mandap is ready.
Hmm.
You get me a guy, I'll marry. What else to say? Because it's not that easy. But now the generation, what the shift I am seeing is in last 25 years, 26 years, he's a huge, huge shift. Not only in minds of persons with disability, but around the society, the acceptance. For example, when I was newly blind and I started traveling alone, the rickshaw walas, the auto walas used to tell me, oh ma'am, it's so sad to see a person like you going out. It's so difficult. God has done so bad with you.
Gods
All
must be
that.
crazy.
That kind of talks. And now when I go, people say, "Ma'am, we are blessed to have you in our auto today. Our
Uh,
day is made. It's so nice to see a person like you being independent. It's so nice to have you with us."
hmm.
So, this is a small shift, but for me, it is a very huge shift.
Why people from mainstream? Why normal people? I should not call them normal because if I call them normal, then I have
We
to
are
address
abnormal.
myself. I have to address you. I have to address all from my community abnormal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I
But
wouldn't
we aren't
call them normal.
abnormal.
So people from mainstream still
Huh.
won't come forward to marry a person with disability. Why it is so?
I believe what I have been seeing in the last 11 years now, Mr. Suman, I have so many negative stories to tell you related to marriages. I'm happy that I'm not married. If I would have been married now, my husband would have asked me to stop organizing this event.
And I'm jealous.
No, no, no. He would have asked me to
People,
stop
people,
organizing this event.
people who are unmarried are happy people.
Yes, that is true.
I wish
That
my
is
So
why
wife
that
is
I'm
is
not
jealous.
true.
listening to this show.
I wish she should listen. So, couple of stories like that. There was one guy who called me and he said that I'm non-disabled and I want to marry a disabled, and any disability woman would work for me. But
Hmm.
the only thing is, then I would want to have a 6 months contract. I said, what does that mean? He said, no, I'll marry her. I'll have a contract for 6 months. I said, then after 6 months, he said, no, then I'll leave her. And then what will happen to her?
Hmm.
Said,
Hmm.
don't worry, ma'am. I have lots of money. I'll give her so much of money that she will survive her own on the entire life. I said, what is this? This doesn't work here. No, 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 ma'am. You just give me, any disability girl will work. So this kind of calls, like, and there's another guy who called me up. He's telling, "Ma'am, I'm frustrated, so I want to marry a disabled woman." I said, "Why are you frustrated?" He said, "I'm 55 and I'm frustrated. I want to marry someone." I said, "Okay, if you want to marry, then what happened? Have you will this be your first marriage or you're remarrying?"
Mm.
So he said, "No, no, my first marriage. I've already married. My wife is there. I have kids also. I have grandkids also. But my wife, she irritates me. She fights with me
Mm.
so much that I am frustrated. So I want to marry a disabled." So how sad is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think of a disabled woman? Then there was, the height was this one mother and son.
Mm.
They almost tried calling and participating in event for 4 long years together. Every year, whenever they used to see her advertisement, they used to call. Mother used to say that, I have born and I have brought up my son so much. I've educated him. Now I want, he's non-disabled and I want any disability will work. The only concern is that the woman should be working and she should have a government job. Why?
Oh.
I said, why should that be the constraint? She's telling, no, because I want to pay the EMI, na? My home loan EMI.
Okay. So
I said, why should
they
your
want to bring home a money minting machine.
so many men have that kind of requirement, and any disability will work, ma'am. But that lady should be working and should have a government job and a house to stay.
Mm.
You tell me wherever in the country I can relocate, madam. What I am seeing now, a big shift in last 11 years is, earlier we used to have more of women candidate registered than men candidate.
Mhm.
Now it's vice versa. We hardly have like one woman ratio for 5 to 6 men who want to register,
Oh.
and that ratio is dropping off. I am not understanding the reason, but what I could see is, a women are more independent now, and especially parents who have disabled daughter,
Mm.
they educate her a lot. They
Yes.
make her earn a lot. They make her independent in all which ways that she can lead her life all alone also. And that's
Yes.
what the many times happens is, they are not looking for a partner. Or if they are looking for a partner, they are looking for someone with their kind of equality in education or economic strata or blah blah. And that is what is very difficult. Like, once in a one of the event, we did an analysis was, you know suppose there are 100 men who are registered and we have 50 women who have registered. Out of 100, there would be hardly 10% of men who are postgraduate. But
Mm.
out of 50 women, there would be more than 25% of women who are postgraduate.
Because they want to secure their life. Right? They don't want to
Mm.
depend on anyone in their lifetime.
Yeah, but then how will the marriage happen? That's the bigger question.
Challenge.
We are challenged and we keep on challenging.
True.
Express your love on me by subscribing to my channel or by following my podcast on your favorite platform.
Sushmita, correct me if I'm wrong. I have noticed usually same kind of disabled partners come together to get married. Why opposite disabled, like a deafened mute person gets married to wheelchair person, or why a blind person gets married to a wheelchair person? Why it won't happen?
So it is happening now, Suman. To be very frank, that is happening now, but still it is not that very common. There are a couple of reasons. The tagline of our event says match abilities rather than matching disability.
Wow.
So what we tell our participants and their parents, what I have realized is, more than the participant, we have to counsel their parents. So lots of counseling goes before registering participants.
Hmm.
And parents are hellbound. No, 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 no. My son is low vision. So I want someone who has lots of vision. They have their wish list already ready,
Hmm.
their checklist ready. They come with a checklist and they tick it.
Hmm.
This is matching. Okay, then this one is suitable. If this is not matching, this one is not suitable. And that goes with the same with even women candidate
Hmm.
parents. But what I have realized is practically also, like for example, people with hearing and speech impairment,
Hmm.
they have very there would be few people who can only understand English signage, few
Yes.
would be only can understand Gujarati signage.
Yes. Yes.
And unless and until they both are of the same disability, it's difficult for them to communicate that flawlessly or include the other one in the communication. Otherwise what happens, like, for example, we both are talking and someone who's hearing impaired is sitting along with us. So we might, not intentionally but unintentionally, not include that person in all of our conversation. So that's where, few disabilities, they do marry with the same disability partner. But what one of the activity which do we do in our event is, is that we take feedback from parents and participants only, that marrying same disability, marrying different disability, or marrying a non disability
Hmm. Hmm.
person, what are the pros and cons, how it is better or good. So final conclusion is always that no situation is perfect. It's just one has to, gel with each other, adjust with each other. And what we request our parents are that, you have accepted your child's disability, whether whatever is son or daughter, you have accepted your child's disability. You have nurtured that person, your child, so much that the disability is no more a disability for him or her and for yours also. Then
Exactly.
why can't you accept someone else also with the same eyes, same heart?
True. True.
And the best part, what I also learned in last 11 years is, while talking for, like, for one event also we have to talk to more than 1,000
Hmm.
parents,
Hmm.
or about that only. So till date, trust me, Mr. Suman, none of the parents have told me that my child is blind or my child is hearing impaired. What they will come and says, ma'am, my son or my daughter now, they are perfectly all right. They
Hmm.
can do this, they can do that, they have this quality, they have done this, they received this award. It's that only he cannot see
Yeah.
or she cannot talk. So the disability is the last thing which they would like to talk.
Address.
And
Yes.
I say that we are blessed. We are blessed that, God has given us parents who never find any shortcomings in their child.
I'm really amazed by your father's thought because he has not just rehabilitated his daughter, he have also rehabilitated the country.
Thanks for that, but I don't know. No, because I am just a drop in the ocean, and my organization is just a drop in the ocean. We had to yet this long way to go.
A small question here. Is
Mhm.
your aunt still asking you about your marriage?
I don't even remember who was that. But yeah, now the question has changed, Suman.
Yeah.
Now people tell me, Sushmita, you organize this matrimonial event, you make others marry, then why don't you find yourself also someone there in that event itself?
Hmm.
Couple of them have forced me even that, in that booklet which we print, why don't you add your photograph, your details there?
Okay, answer to that question.
Answer to that question, I only say things like, I can focus only on one. If I'm looking for life partner, let me look as that for that. If I'm organizing an event, let me do that. I cannot mix two things together. That's first. And I'm open. If I will find someone, I'll find. But that even I otherwise my simple answer is that even that guy who's be working for no, for to find me, let him do that. I'll pray to get that his energy, his efforts are fulfilled.
All right. Sushmita, you also organize entrepreneurship programs and you also organize entrepreneurship award functions and you appreciate people
Yes.
who are into enterprises and businesses, small, large, medium, all kind of businesses. So I want to know more about it.
So again, being myself part of our family business, an entrepreneur, I always felt that, always used to tell my father that why can't we give this similar privilege or similar opportunities to others? And 2016, we started off a program called Entrepreneurial Idea Award, where we invite PWDs to come in their whatever ideation stage, prototype or scale up, and we train them, we mentor them, we guide them, we have sessions, we align them with mentors, and they prepare their pitches and then present in front of venture capitalists, investors, and top three gets cash prizes. So for me, it is always like, why we have to be only job seeker? Why can't we be job creators?
Mm.
Because for a disabled to find job is very big task. But if I start a business and I not only hire PWD but also non-disabled, so I am making more impact rather than be just doing a job. So that's fair. So we are blessed there also. We have so many entrepreneurs who are really doing great. Like there's one lady who's wheelchair user. She's from a remote place in Maharashtra, but now she's making her once year 1 year she came. She could was not awarded. She was not in the top three
Mm.
thing, but then whatever the judges gave her um, tips that what should she how she should improve her business and how she should improve, where she should improve. She took all those points and came back next year, and she won that day. That year she came first,
Wow.
got the first prize.
Wow.
And similarly, and there's another guy who is who also has mobility impairment, but he runs an assistance care kind of services within Mumbai, especially for
Mm.
senior citizen and for disabled. So if someone needs a daycare, night care kind of a support for home within the house, caregiver kind of support, that is possible. If I want to go for shopping, I can call for an assistance. If I am a wheelchair user, I can call a accessible cab with an assistance.
Excellent.
So we are blessed. God is blessing me in all which ways, and I'm really thankful for that.
Again, this kind of thing is also a trend settle in India because I have seen organizations in the country who are doing so much for the employment side of people with disability, like jobs. But you guys are amazing because you are making them employers.
I am out of the box. What to say? Although I told outstanding student standing out of the class.
Exactly. You are special. I mean to say, not specially challenged kind of special, you are really special. Sushmita, now tell me about Faida. Faida is a Hindi word, my listeners. Faida. Okay, define Faida in English, Sushmita.
So Faida actually means benefit.
Hmm.
We generally say, okay, if you do this, you will benefit this way. If you do this, you will have a benefit of this. But here, Faida means financial ability for I, you, and all.
Wow.
So and Faida was born again as a repercussion of the treatment which I got. Like I used to been always asked, why do you need money? You have house to live, you have food to eat, you have clothes to wear. Why do you need money? Why? But why? And I believe this is not a question which has been asked only to me. There's so many other my friends who would accept that this is a question being asked to everyone. Why do we need money? But I would say, why don't we need a money? Meaning, if I want to go out and eat, if I just
Who
want to go
don't
for
need
a
money?
movie,
Tell me first.
yeah, even a child needs money nowadays. So that's where I thought, okay, मतलब हिंदी जनरली से ना आपको पैसे का क्या फायदा क्यों चाहिए आपको ये करके वो फायदा क्या so if you do this what is your benefit you if you're doing that what is your benefit I said okay let me start something फायदा only so that's where फायदा came in picture And through our entrepreneur idea award program, I came to know that there's so much of talent across in India. Talk about persons with disability or underprivileged artisans. But what happens, it's like, as business says, it's 10% idea and 90% is execution. And execution includes even marketing.
Exactly.
And many of PWDs are very introvert, or they don't have that kind of exposure where to go and sell, how to sell. They can make things very beautiful, very nice, but they lack of marketing skills or a platform where they can sell. So that's where I thought, okay, I think that I am good communication person and I can persuade someone. I said, let me start something like that. Let us give a platform where people can come, enroll themselves or register their products and try to sell, and we'll help them to sell. So we try, generally, if anyone has to sell anything online, they have to have few compliances in place, like
Yes.
the GST registration should be there. They have to have some this document, that document, and all. So registering for a disabled on any other so-called biggies platforms. I would not name them, but it's very difficult for them to do so.
Because
So
of
we did that.
inaccessibility and many other things.
Yes, in accessibility and compliances,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
then lots of documentation involved. So then we said, okay, let's start this. So during this COVID time, we started Faiyda, where it's a marketplace, online marketplace, where we are selling products which are made or sold by persons with disability from across
Excellent.
India.
So this is something like Amazon?
You can say mini, not Amazon. Amazon is a ocean. We are drop in the ocean,
No,
Suman.
but for me, I could say it is better than Amazon because the products you are selling through this Faida is made and sold by people with disabilities, right?
Yeah, and underprivileged artisans also. We have tribal people also.
See,
We
then it
have
is obviously better than Amazon. My dear listeners, just imagine that if you are buying anything through Faida, you are helping or supporting the persons with disability by buying things which are made and sold, or you can say marketed by them. So this is
yeah.
an
So
amazing idea, Sushmita.
thank you so much. Our tagline says "Saman se Samman Cure." That means in
Wow.
English, it's product to pride.
Who
So it's a
writes all these tags,
purple.
Sushmita? Is that you?
Me only. What to do?
Lovely. So, my dear listeners, it's my sincere request to you all. See, Diwali is on the way, Christmas is on the way, and New Year is across the corner. Let's make this festival memorable, wonderful, marvelous, beautiful by buying things and gifts from Faida. Sushmita, how do we reach Faida?
So there are a couple of ways. We have our website, that is www.faida.com, and we spell Faida as Faiyda. That's Faida. That's one way. Otherwise, I'm also available on WhatsApp. People can reach me on WhatsApp. And we have categories like home decor, handicrafts, apparels, stationery, then eateries. You talk about, we have it. And if you don't have it, if you think that, okay, this product is not available on the website, but still you are looking for XYZ, you can just approach us. We can bring that for you. I'll try my best to get that for you. So we have done customized orders for, like, Blue Dart DHL. We have done for Taj hotels. We have done
Awesome.
for TSL also. So my only one sentence or request is, like, people are buying things, correct, from anywhere and everywhere. You are already buying. You are spending money. But when you buy from here, you do a dual impact. It's a purposeful purchase which you do, and which gives pride to someone.
My dear lovely listeners, so this is a sincere request. Please consider buying from Faida.
So not only for this festive seasons, for anniversaries, birthday return gifts, corporate anniversaries, any corporate gifting you want your logos to be customized, we are there everywhere.
Sushmita, now we have come to the stage where I have this question for you, and you have no option to say no. You have to answer this.
I don't know what is coming.
Here it is. Sushmita, tell me, if you have all the superpowers in your hands to change something in this country, what that would be?
Oh, that too, I every day pray and every minute I pray. And I wish that had to happen.
Hmm.
Because I know I'm a superpower person. Because that's the way in spirituality one should think.
Hmm.
And that's what my wish is, that everyone on this earth or in this entire universe should be happy. If there would be peace, everyone, every place, and everyone should be treated equal. And our voice vision's vision statement is, we know that we wish to create a world where any disability is mere discomfort,
Hmm. Hmm.
nothing as a stigma, nothing. And I want that world to happen. And luckily, this year, in 2024, Voice Vision and Faiyda has been invited by the State Commissioner of Goa for the Purple Fest event, where we will be hosting our matrimonial event there
Wow.
in January.
Awesome.
That's a program which has been supported by Government of India, State Government of Goa, and Social Justice Ministry.
Great.
So that's where it's a huge event, and I hope you know that purple is the color which is denoted with the disability. So that's why it's called a Purple Fest event.
Listeners, the details of reaching Faida and also the details of Voice Vision is in the description. Please go and check it out. And this was Sushmita. Hope you had a lot of fun listening to our conversation. Sushmita, thank you so much for giving me this beautiful opportunity to host you on my show, Suman versus Human.
Mr. Suman, it is my pleasure to be here. I'm really, really thankful that you thought that I am an appropriate person for your session. That is really thankful.
You are
I'm
an
glad.
angel. So you are definitely an appropriate person to be on my show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being my listener. Express your love on me by subscribing to my channel or by following my podcast on your favorite platform.